Hello everyone, in this video I want to show you this car here, 2020 Honda Civic, and this is a 9-speed automatic version. And just before we get started, we are Fitzpatrick's Garage, a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years. If you want any information on any of these cars, please do not hesitate to give me a shout. 086 843 1945. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. If you want information about the car, if you want information about trading in your own car, or information about finance, or if you're watching on YouTube and you think I've missed something, just let me know in the comment section below. And if you think the video is useful, please do like and subscribe. Anyway, back to the car. So like we were saying, this is Honda Civic and this is 9-speed automatic. I really like these cars to drive. I much prefer the 9-speed these days than I do the manual. And it's not just about convenience, it's actually about the way it drives as well. It accelerates really nicely. We'll see that later on in the video anyway. So let's have a look around the features on the outside of the car. And we'll go for a quick drive in the car and we'll have a look at some of the features that are on the inside of the car that make up what's called this Smart Plus specification. The colour of this car is a really vibrant, what's called brilliant sport blue on the outside, and you can see everything's colour coded, like bumpers, door handles, wing mirrors and spoilers. One thing I really like about this Generation 10 Civic, it's just really aggressive looking. It's very distinctive compared to other cars on the road, especially around in the rear with those big LED taillights. If you look closely at the lights, there's nice detailing within the lights themselves, and what I love is when I actually come up behind these at night time, driving behind them, it's a really distinctive shape down the back with those big taillights. Other things worth mentioning on the rear of the car, parking sensors are across the back, and moving around to the front then, you're going to have front fog lights and a radar here, which we'll talk about later in terms of safety. There's parking sensors on the front of the car to go at the back, and you have nice big LED parking lights and daytime runners with full and dip headlights, which are separate. But I really love the side markers on these cars. The reason I like them, when you're actually driving behind one of these or slightly to the angle off, you can just see the little side marker in the corner, and it makes you realise just how wide these cars are, which again I think makes the car look unique and distinctive. Other features again to do with styling are these spoilers on the back, so you got one at low and one up high, but what it does is it channels air off the rear of the car in the most aerodynamic way possible, so they look cool but they actually have a function as well. And the rims on the car are 17-inch wheels and they're a nice diamond cut finish. Diamond cut wheels are pretty cool because when you walk up close to them, under sunlight or artificial light, there's a nice shiny reflective finish, so they look cool when they're driving. In terms of practicalities, the boot is absolutely massive. We have one of these cars at home and the boot is just gigantic for taking things like the buggy, or even when we go on holidays, and all the CRAP that goes with us. That is a really big and useful boot. And it's also got some little secret compartments underneath if you want to hide stuff or just store stuff. There's lots more space underneath there as well. There's privacy glass on the rear windows, and when we get into the back of the car, you'll see there is 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts, an armrest up through the middle, and we use the car quite a bit with a child seat. I don't really know why, but the ISOFIX is really simple to use. Whatever angle it's at, it is the easiest car I've ever put ISOFIX in and out of the back of. The other thing as well then is there's an armrest in through here with our drinks holders as well. I'd like to say to you, just when we had little one in the back, those windows being dark, they look cool as well, but they do actually make a difference. Over here then you'll have a speaker in the door, and you'll also have a tweeter up there as well, and just nice little bits of brushed aluminium along the door as well as the door handle as well. As I was saying at the start of the video, I really like how this car drives. The gearbox really makes it exciting. In terms of how it works, you got a park button, you got a reverse button, and that's going to link up to your parking camera as well. You got a neutral button, and you got a drive button as well. And while each button has a light itself, the binnacle itself will actually tell you if you're in park, reverse, neutral and drive in the top left hand corner, so you'll always know what gear you're in. The other thing as well is that D button is also an S button, so that puts you from a drive mode to a sport mode, which is a much more aggressive gear changing pattern, and you can also use the paddles to go up and down through the gears manually. Acceleration wise, let's see what it's like joining the motorway. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, 100 kilometers an hour into fifth gear, and sixth gear we're up into 120. Sitting in the car then, this is the interior you're going to look at. So over here, electrics for windows and mirrors. Down through here, controls for parking sensors, but there's other controls for safety equipment which are down here and down here, and actually we're going to look at them towards the end of the video, and they're quite useful as well, including the automatic lights and wipers. On this side over here then, I can control, if you look in through the centre, and changing information, use that I button there, and what that's showing me is information about maintenance, audio, Bluetooth, but the usual ones you're going to use are things like fuel efficiency and other things which are quite useful up here, the speed sign recognition. Again, we'll talk about that in the safety part of the video. Moving over to the left hand side then, you have the big Honda Connect, which has your reverse camera, and it also has things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which basically allow you to use a lot of the apps that are on your phone on the screen. So essentially the screen becomes very much that of your phone. But if you don't want to use the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you're still going to have things like navigation, all your audio, phone in through there, and trip information and various settings overall. And like a mobile phone then, the screen is completely touch and swipe as well, so when you're looking for stations and stuff like that, you're just dragging along through the screen. Over here then, I've got heating controls on my side, I've got heating controls on the passenger side, front and rear windscreen demisters, and they also demist the wing mirrors. But if you want a little bit more, you've also got this climate button in through here, and it gives you more control over the climate. Again, all touch and swipe as well. In terms of in-car usage, you have things like HDMI if you have to play video, USB in through there, 12 volt outlet, and then over in through here, I've also got another USB connector in through the armrest, and the armrest moves backwards and forwards. Like what we said earlier then, there is a ton of safety on these cars, and I mean an awful lot as standard. So let's have a look at the safety features that are on this car from the inside out. This little panel on the steering wheel here plays a massive role in safety on this particular car. Let's face it, roads are really busy these days, and people are really busy too. So people are really tired. With so much traffic, there's bound to be incidents. Well, this kind of car, it's going to help you stay safe. Starting off, the headlights have high beam support, and they're fully automated, and so are the wipers. When you're driving through a country area, then the headlights will be on full. Once you come into something like a lit up area, the lights dim, but once you get back into an unlit area, then they go back into full. Once you meet oncoming traffic, they'll automatically dip. So this car has come over the hill, the headlights have dipped. Once the cars pass by us, the lights go into full automatic mode and headlights come on again. This kind of stuff means that you have less to do, which means you have more ability to concentrate on what's in front of you. The wipers are also the same. Wipers then will sense the rain depending how heavy it is, so it'll work on various intermittencies just depending how much water is falling. It's also going to be equipped with a speed sign recognition. It's got a little camera up front and it's always watching the road ahead. In this case then, as we're about to leave the town, we move from a 50 into a 60 zone, which the car has recognised, and actually it's a very short 60 zone, and then we move into an 80 zone. And while that's really cool by itself, it's got a really cool function in the fact that you can link it to the speed limiter. The speed limiter has two ways of working. I've got a limit which limits my speed, so I've limited to 90. I'm flooring the car, it won't go past 90. Or I can limit to the speed zone. We know it's 100 because it says 100 over here. The car's going to accelerate up to 100. And now it's telling us that we're exceeding the speed limit. We're going to slow down to 100. I'm going to floor it again. And it keeps telling us that we're exceeding. I'll tell you now that it's going to save you a speeding fine one of the days, but there's other things on this car that are going to try and keep you on the road as well. The lane change warning, so we have the assist up here, but the warning is down here. And it just means if I drift into the white line, you can see the vibrating steering, and it's pushed us back, but it's not actually trying to keep us. What it's doing is just going to keep ping-ponging from left to right. Not as comfortable, but useful just for a warning. If I'd used my indicator, there would have been no problem. This one here, which we'll have a look at, is the lane keep assist. With lane keep assist, I'll hit this button here. I've got a symbol up through here. As you can see, we're going to go around the corner. I know I shouldn't do it, but technically, the car is going to keep us between the two lines for about 10 seconds or so. And eventually then you'll see a warning coming in here, which is telling us that we need to get our hands back on the wheel. But I am covering the wheel just to be safe. The car is still guiding us up to the centre, and now it's told us, put your hands back on the wheel. So basically, it's going to stop you exceeding the speed limit, and it's also going to keep you on the road, but it's also going to keep you away from the cars that are ahead of you. First thing we do is we set the cruise control. So turn it on, set it. At the moment then there is no car actually in front of us. So the reason that the silhouette is completely empty is that there's no car in front of us. We're just set like normal cruise control. So we're going to stay at 77 kilometers per hour. Once wherever traffic comes in front of us, you'll see the symbol has lit up to say that there is now a car identified by the camera. And we can basically now choose how far do we want to stay behind the car in front, so various distances, and the car will respect that. If the car in front slows down, we slows down. If the car ahead speeds up, we speed up until we get to that maximum of 90 kilometers an hour that we've set ourselves. So as you can see, the Honda Sensing kit, which is based on that part of the steering wheel, is trying to keep you safe on the roads, which, let's face it, are extremely busy and dangerous these days. So anyway, there you have it. That is our 9-speed automatic Honda Civic, and that is a Smart Plus diesel. If you want information on the car, please do call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits, 086 843 1945. If you want to know about trading in the car, if you want to know about finance, or just any queries in general. Anyway, thanks a million for taking time to watch. Hopefully the video has been useful, and hopefully the car is of interest.